Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Let me go and set up this room real quick and then we can get started. 6:19 right now, so we have about 11 minutes till market opens. Let's get this through right here. Good. All right, solid. All right, cool. So as that updates right there, let me go and get the link for the Zoom over here for you guys. So let's see, that's good. Make sure I mute everybody before we get that started. So Zoom right there. All right. Looks good. All right, guys, cool. Looks like people are making their way into the room, so I'm gonna give it some time for people to join. And then once we have enough people in here, we'll get started with our analysis. So good morning, everybody. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Today's Monday, November 15th, brand new week. Yeah, I'm pretty sure to get this trading week started. So let me just get this all set up right here. So it's good. I'm gonna get a few seconds for people to make their way in. All right, it's good. It's good. All right. All right, cool. Morning, Dalmas. Morning, Miles. Morning, Peter. Morning, everyone. 6:21 right now. Market is opening in about 9 minutes, so we do have some time. No crazy rush right now, but try to get everything all situated before market open, obviously. All right, just cleaning up my charts to make sure everything's cool. Yeah, and everything looks pretty much fine for the most part. So let me just finish letting everybody into the room and then we'll get started with our analysis. Morning, Matt. Morning, everyone. We have about 8 minutes till market open. So I'll give one more minute and then we will start looking over everything to confirm the charts and the data for this morning. Hey, Jennifer, morning. Morning, everyone. All right, guys, so let's get started. Just a reminder, today's Monday, November 15th. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the news to see if there's anything that we should be looking out for today. Paul said umpiring season is finally over. Now I have weekends off. Nice, Paul. It's a good time for you to finally take a break and focus on trade. I mean, you're doing pretty good at your trading so far, so it's not like a huge difference, but it's kind of nice to have some free time. So today there was news at 5:30. It was the Empire State Manufacturing Index. Is positive news. Other than that, there's nothing really much else today. So for Monday today, we might have a slow market. So just keep that in mind. With no news today, slow market, and everything is just coming back into play as the market reopens. So but Monday's still a risky day. So you guys got to keep that in mind as well, because we are coming back from the weekend. It was a holiday weekend, even though we didn't have a day off. It was Veterans Day on Thursday, so it was technically a holiday weekend. So you'll see some volatility on open, which is what I'm expecting. But I think throughout the session, it might not be as crazy as it normally is because there's no news really pushing price around. So just something to keep in mind. So anyways, let's look at the retail sentiment right now. I'll just go and refresh this. So looking at retail sentiment, it's currently 62% short, meaning that 62% of retail traders are selling right now. With that said, we generally want to trade the opposite of what they're trading. So we're probably going to be looking for some buys today. Looking over here at the fundamentals, just refreshing this. The fundamentals are currently 130 points in the positive for the futures of US 30. So like with that said, you guys can see that it's a perfect confluence, right? Retail sentiment is short, fundamentals are up. We want to be up anyways. So it lines up perfectly. So our buys today, or for right now, actually, is just going to be a buy. When the market does open at 6:30, that can easily change. But it just really depends on what happens when the market actually opens. So we'll see what happens when the market opens, because this might change. It doesn't have to stay bullish. It just depends on like where people decide to trade as the market progresses when it finally actually opens at 6:30, which is in 6 minutes. So just looking at this here, we're possibly looking for a buy. Let's look over the technicals now. So the 1 minute over here, it's currently bearish. And the reason for that is because price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. However, it was bullish pretty much all throughout London session. So it was pretty bullish overall. It just started coming back down right here. But what could happen is it can just swing right back up. So I don't necessarily think it's going to stay below, but we don't know yet what's going to happen. So for purposes of looking at the 1 minute, this is going to be bearish. And the reason for that is because price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. Going over to the 3 minute, this is currently, it was bullish just like the 1 minute. However, right now it's kind of indecisive. Reason for that is because price is just going sideways right here alongside the pivots. However, price prior to this was bullish because it was above the pivots and the trend meter is green. Looking at the trend meter right now, it's still green, so it might be shifting back up. And that's kind of my guess right there, because I'm looking for a buy anyways. So that's kind of what we're looking at from there. Other than that, going to the 10 minute over here, looking at this is obviously bullish, and you can tell because price is above the pivot and the trend meter is green. So for the most part here, it looks bullish. The fundamentals are bullish. The technicals are overall bullish, going on the higher time frames. Also, retail sentiment indicates that retail traders are short. So everything is pointing towards obviously a buy for now. We'll see what happens when the market opens, and we can actually look at the actual live index. If the live index is bullish, then obviously we're going to know what our bias is for today, which is going to be bullish. So that's that. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it for our analysis right now. Market is opening in about 4 minutes. So when this starts to play out, then we can start looking for trades here. So let me just scroll over here real quick. Morning, Maria. Morning, Al. Paul said, I'm just burnt out from working almost every weekend since March. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm burned out from going on this live every single day, but it's all good. I mean, I do this anyway, so it wouldn't really make a difference. But no, I agree, because you're actually doing like work. You're like out in the sun, umpiring and stuff like that. I'm just on this computer all day, so it's all good. But no, definitely good to have you, have some free time so you can focus on your trading and just focus on yourself in general. Alice said, good morning, Sean. You show us a trading view snapshot of the trades you take in other sessions if possible. Yeah, sure. I mean, we can look at that later. Market's opening in 3 minutes right now. Also, I can't show you right now, but later on, just remind me if I don't show you guys. And I'll see if I can find it here. I forgot what trade did I take, but I'll show. I think it was this buy right here, or maybe not. There was a lot of trades here. So there was a buy right here that was available. I'm not sure if anyone caught that, but there was one that was like right here. Obviously, you can see the high low broke right there. So you would have taken that for a buy and full TP off that. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of trades you can take, Al. I think well, I mean, the main thing is like you can go back and look to see what trades were available during that time anyways, but I'll try to show you a little later when we have some free time. But there's a lot of like trades here that were available all throughout the day. So other than that, let me just go over here real quick. Market is open in 2 minutes. So we'll take a look in a little bit, Al, but for right now, we're going to focus on the current trades. Morning, Lisa. Morning, Fahad. Morning, David. Morning, Noel. Yeah, no, definitely, Noel. It's been pretty, so Noel said been in since 36,060. So you've been in since like, since like Asia session, huh? Way over here. Yeah, so you hopped in like last night. You've been just holding it for a buy. It's crazy. Yeah, so you must be in profit like super deep. All right, market is opening in 1 minute, guys. So we got about 56 seconds till market open. What I'm going to do here is I'll just put the strategy so that you guys will know what we're applying. We'll be looking for the breakout. I know I haven't been taking the breakout lately. The reason for that's because there just hasn't been any good breakouts. However, we're looking for a buy right now. So if we could find a buy, then that's pretty much going to be our focus for this breakout if it does come up. So in order for us to take a buy for the breakout, we would need price to close above the pivots. There also would need to be a buy signal, and it would need to be a strong bullish candle, meaning a big green candle. Well, not really a big green candle, but a strong green candle with little to no wick on the top side. Market is opening in about 10 minutes or 10 seconds, guys. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The market is now open. So looking at this right here, you can see the big bullish move right here, right? Let's go over to the fundamentals. Let's just refresh this real quick. All right, fundamentals are currently, let's see what's going on over here. Yeah, the fundamentals are currently up 93 points right now, so it's very bullish. Looking over here at the index, very bullish, right? Everything's pretty much green for the most part. So looking at this right here, you can see how choppy this candle is, right? The opening candle, because this is usually how it is on market open. Market is finally opening from the weekend, so you're going to see a lot of irregular movements, right? You're going to see a spike to the upside, spike to the downside. Obviously, this is fine that it's pushing like this because we want it to do this so that we can take the buy later. We can catch it dip. So when it dips back up, that's completely fine. We're going to be ready to catch that. So this is cool right here. It's fine. We'll let it be. I'm going to refresh this real quick. Retail sentiment is still 62% short. Looking at the fundamentals, it's still up 83 points. So obviously you can see that this right here is a manipulated move, right? People don't believe manipulation, but like try to explain to me how does this drop when it was all green right here and the entire index is green, right? Manipulation happens, guys. Whether you believe it or not, it happens because the fundamentals are completely bullish, and you can see this is a manipulated push to the downside, and then it just swings right back up like it's supposed to because it's supposed to be bullish. Obviously, looking at the fundamentals here, this is like it's pretty green to me, right? It's over 100 points, so that's obviously you can tell that move that dropped below was just temporary, and this is exactly what we were waiting for, right? I mentioned that if price ends up swinging back up, price was going to dip, and then when it swings back up, we can start looking for buys, and that's exactly what we're looking for here. However, I'm not going to take any buys just yet because what could happen here is this is such a huge candle that price just might come back down for a retracement. So you can see price is probably going to keep bouncing back and forth within this area. So what I'm looking for here is I'm waiting for price to stabilize. Once it stabilizes, I can start looking for some actual trades. However, right now, price just hasn't stabilized yet, right? So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for a buy signal. Price closes with the buy signal here, and it's a strong bullish candle, then we can probably take that for a breakout. This breakout just needs to happen before 635. So if the entry comes up right here before 635, then it's good. If not, then we just look for normal trades after that. But you can see here, price just keeps bouncing back and forth, right? So there's no direction that's been completely established, but we are looking for it to be bullish. So overall, I think it's going to be bullish. It's going to swing to the upside. However, as you can see, price is just bouncing back and forth. So it's not necessarily a safe trade to take. So you can see right here, it's doing exactly what I just mentioned, right? So I mentioned price is going to come up, come down, come up, come down. It's just going to go back and forth right here and just whipsaw. But I think overall price is going to swing to the upside. And the reason for that is because the fundamentals are so strong. Refreshing this right here, it's still up 114 points. Looking at the stock index, it's completely green, right? There's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5 red stocks, and they're not even that red. The only red one is United Health, which is down 2 points. Salesforce, which is down 1 point. Everything else is like less than 1 point. So I'm expecting it to swing back up. And so this is cool. I don't mind that it keeps dropping like this because I'm going to catch it as it comes back up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw the highs and the lows right here so that we can identify the entries. You can see obviously right here for you to see where I drew these lines. Price is pretty much just going sideways at this point. This is probably going to be established as low, but it's okay. I'll leave it at that for now. And what I'll do here is I'm going to put up all of the strategies that we plan on applying during the live session. So the 1 minute pivot scalp strategy, the 1 minute high-low scalp strategy here on the 3 minute, the pending, or I mean, I guess the one that we're working on, the unfinished strategy for the daily, pivot scalp. And just keep in mind that our bias right here is going to be bullish. So I'm not looking for any sells. If any sell entries come up, it's completely fine, but I'm not going to be looking at them specifically because I'm looking for buys here. Snipe right here. Let's get some zones. All right. All right, looks solid. So no snipe entries available right now, but I mean, obviously we have these drawn up just in case we do. Looking over here, I'll just draw this right here. And we'll be looking for the daily at this point. All right, guys, looks good. Looks good. All right, you can see right here, price is just ranging within these two zones, right? Or these two high lows. So we drew these high lows right here. Price is just going back and forth. Looking over at the fundamentals over here, refreshing this, still up 100 points. So let's go and just check out the entire index. So looking at the indexes over here, you can see everything is bullish, right? Literally everything is bullish. Dow Jones is bullish, S&P is bullish, Nasdaq's bullish, Russell 2000 is bullish, the VIX is bullish. So looking at that right there, you can see the whole market is bullish. So and you can see right here, price is starting to swing back up. I'm just waiting for it to swing all the way back up. My main thing that I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to swing up. Right here would probably be that would be a 1 minute pivot scalp entry. However, if it's too big of a candle, I'm not going to enter it right away. The reason for that is because price is likely to pull back. Even if it closes above here, it's going to pull back slightly, just like it did right here. See how this has a big wick? This makes it a little too risky, because if you guys see big wicks like this indicates that price is like it's hitting some sort of resistance, or there's something that's holding it back from breaking above to where it's supposed to go. So the main location that I'm looking for at this point is I'm looking for price to break and close above here, so that I can take this for a high-low scalp. If it closes above here, this is cool too. However, we're waiting for it to confirm the direction, because if the candle's too big, like I mentioned, it's probably going to pull back. So I want to make sure that it's a decent candle, like a normal candle, not something that's like, 500 pips, like for example, right here. If it closes above here, that's cool. But if it closes like way above here, it's like a 300 pip move, and it's probably going to have to pull back slightly before it comes up and continues pushing up higher. You can see right here, price is having trouble breaking past the pivots, right? I mean, it's breaking past it, but it's not closing. You can see right here, price comes up, rejects off the pivot, comes up, rejects off the pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rejections right here off the pivot. So as you guys can see, this is very dangerous to trade around this area, because as soon as you enter for a buy, price might just come right back down. So you want to make sure that price is out, out in the clear up here, so that you can take those trades. It's just about being patient, guys, really, because right now, obviously, you don't want to get caught. So here's the thing. The thing is, we know price is going to go up eventually, right? It's going to go up eventually. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go up right now. So last thing you want to do is enter a trade for a buy here, and then it pulls back. You're in some massive drawdown, and then it goes back up, right? When you could just wait for it to actually go back up and confirm, because the thing is, it's just going to stress you out if you hold on to that trade and you hold on to it through the drawdown. So, it's all about trade psychology. You got to keep your mental on point so that you don't make mistakes like that. Other than that, all right, let's see. Other than that, we're pretty much just waiting. So let me go over here real quick. I'm going to go on the clean chart. This is the clean chart where I don't have any drawings. What I do is I usually just mark up the little areas of trading pockets that I necessarily trade from. So like 6:30 to 8, this is usually where I trade. This is where I find the direction. Usually 8 to 9, price consolidates a bit. 9 to 10, price consolidates even more. 10 to 12, price ends up doing its mid-market reversal. And that's pretty much it for now. So, all right, but as you guys can see right here, if you just look at current price, like what's price doing? Nothing, right? It's just going back and forth. It hasn't chosen its direction yet. But we're looking for price to choose its direction, whether it goes up or whether it goes down. Obviously, we'll believe it's going to go up eventually or like long term, but currently right now it's just kind of bouncing around that area. So until we have some sort of direction, we're pretty much just going to be waiting for it to give us that. So right here, you can see that it established a new high. However, price right here off the following candle touched it already. So this is no longer the high. The high was invalidated by this following candle. So this is still the high right now above here. For this right here, the low moved a little closer. So here's the low now. You can see price is starting to make its way back up, or it's trying to. So I'm still waiting for it to close above here. When it closes above, we can take that for a buy. So this is what we're anticipating right now. This would technically be a 1 minute pivot scalp right here too. And you can see right there that price still hasn't closed, right? Price is still having trouble breaking and closing past these K2 pivots. So as you can count these wicks right here, like you can see how many times it's failed to break and close past it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9, 8 or 9 times right here. Price has failed to break above it. And it's just going sideways. So you can see price broke below here. And I'm not looking for any sells, guys. So just keep that in mind. I know this is a high-low sell scalp for a sell, but I'm not going to take it because the fundamentals are currently bullish, right? So if you guys remember, you got to make sure that you look at the confluences here. It's still pretty bullish. Looking at retail sentiment is still 61% short. So I'm looking for a buy here. Obviously, you can see this would have been a full TP if you took this, even though I didn't take it. It's just too risky. So as you guys can see, you can still take these high-low scalps. They're just a little more risky if you take it against the trend or against the fundamentals. So if you took the trade here, that's a full TP right there, right? And the reason why we had an entry here is because you want to confirm the previous swing high or low. Right here's a previous swing low, right? You want to confirm 4 or 5 candles to make sure that this has been established. So this was a low right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th candle right here. Price broke and closed below it. That's going to be the second requirement. Confirm price break and close past the previous swing. Confirm you're trading in the direction of momentum. Right here, we have a sell signal. There's no buy signal after it. So we're trading for sells right here. Fourth, you want to confirm price is not ranging or consolidating. Price was ranging here, but this candle right here broke out of it. So it's no longer in a range. Lastly, you just want to confirm that price hasn't touched the previous swing before the break and close. So price broke and closed below here. None of these candles here touched that low, right? So with that said, you would have taken this for a short, but I personally wouldn't have taken it because the bias was for a buy. So I'm still waiting for it to swing up. But if you were taking a risky trade and you wanted to take it, this would have been a win right there. Obviously, I'm not going to count the trade because I didn't take it, but I'm just explaining to you guys exactly how this strategy is applied. So, congrats to whoever caught it. I didn't catch it, but, it's all good. It's still Monday, guys. So just, keep that in mind. There's no need to rush it. You don't have to take every single trade. You also don't have to trade every single day. Take trades as they come and just wait for those perfect entries. That's how you can keep such a high win rate when trading with us here. So, all right, other than that, this is now going to be the new low. But obviously you can see price is still ranging, right? Going back to the fundamentals over here, I'm still looking for a buy. Still up about 100 points. So even though it dropped like that, I'm still waiting for it to come right back up. Let me turn on my alerts too, or my alerts are already on. So nothing here off the 3-minute, nothing here off the 10-minute, nothing here off the daily. Well, this daily here might be the daily entry for a sell. However, not looking for any sells right now. So if it does close, I'll mark it up, but I'm probably not going to take it. Still looking for buys here. It's going to let it swing back up. So let's see. All right, so this is where market open. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a line here. right? So this is opening price. What I kind of anticipate to happen here is price might continue dropping, but then I believe eventually it's going to come right back up. And then when it does come back up, it can do one of two things. It can either bounce off here, come back down, or it'll continue pushing up higher. My guess is that it's going to continue pushing up higher because my bias is buy. So basically when price reaches this area right here, it can do one of two things. It'll push up or it'll come right back down. My guess is that it's going to push up, break past it, and continue pushing up higher and higher. It might not happen right now, but eventually it's, you know, it's due to happen for the most part. If things follow as planned. However, things don't always need to follow as planned, right? If bias changes, then we change our bias. But currently right now, I'm still looking for a buy. Fundamentals are bullish. Futures data is bullish. Retail sentiment still short. So everything's still pointing towards a buy for me. Also refreshing this right here, you guys can see that the entire market is bullish. So what are the odds of the Dow swinging back up? You know, very likely because the Dow is bullish, S&P is bullish, Nasdaq's bullish, Russell 2000 is bullish, VIX is bullish, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. We just got to wait. It's just, you know, a matter of being patient, waiting for it to actually play out. But yeah, anyways, we have the new high right here. You can see it's getting a little tighter. Not super tight, but it is getting a little tighter. Right there. All right, it's just a game of waiting at this point. See, nothing here on the 3-minute. We have the 10-minute here that's still pending. It's got about 3 minutes left on this candle. So when this does close here, I will mark it up so that you guys can follow it. However, it's not one that I would recommend taking. One, because it's a really big move in the opposite direction of the fundamentals. And it's also in the direction of the retail sentiment. So I wouldn't take it. It's just too big of a move. If it was a smaller scalp, maybe, but not for, you know, a whole 1,500 pip move. Because like, for example, if you're looking to take this for a sell here, in order for your TP to hit, price needs to get like way down here. So as you guys can see, that's a pretty big move. Not that it's impossible because it can easily come down. However, it just makes it a bit risky if you decide to take that because it's such a huge move. And I don't like tying up too much of my margin in these long-term trades. Not really long-term, but they're long-term compared to the scalps that we normally take, right? Yeah, other than that, I don't really see anything else here. You can see price over here touch this low. So this low is no longer the low. Yeah, this low has been invalidated. So this is now the this is now low right here. All right, so there's no low that's been established right here. Obviously, this is the most recent low that hasn't been broken. Obviously, these lows over here have been broken already. This one right here got broken. Yeah, I mean, other than that, see how far did this pull up from here? Yeah, price will probably push down a little further. And I'm only thinking that because you can see that this low right, or actually, no, I don't think it's gonna push down further. I was trying to look for a high low because there's a high low scalp right here that was actually available because this low was never broken. However, I don't think it's gonna push down too far. But as you guys can see right here, there was a low here that was never broken, right? So all of these over here were broken. They have all been either used up or they've been broken. So with that said, this over here would still technically be an entry for the high low scalp. I don't know if it would have hit CP already. Looks like it was close, so it's probably going to push down a little lower to finish the move down there. But I wouldn't take it because, you know, for the obvious reasons. I don't want to go against the fundamentals here. So I'm going to move this lower right here. I don't want to keep anything on the chart because if I do keep stuff on the chart, I think some people might hop into it thinking that it's an actual move, when in reality, it's not a move because we're not in it. But you can see right there, right? Price is pushing down. Like if I go back and just rewind what I drew earlier, see how price is pushing down. It's going to complete the move here. There's a high-low scalp right there. And it'll probably hit, but we're not going to count it because I didn't take the trade, obviously. And you can see right there, it's still pushing down. So there you go, full TP off that high-low scalp. So there's two high-low scalps here for a sell that we just identified. And again, right here, guys, and another thing, confirm the previous high low, the previous swing high, swing low, it's previous low over there that hasn't been broken yet. Price broken close past it with this candle right here. You want to confirm you're trading in the direction of momentum. Right here, we have a sell signal. Momentum is going down. You want to confirm price isn't ranging, which it isn't. Obviously, it's moving directional. And lastly, you want to confirm that this area hasn't been touched prior. So all the candles over here never touched it. With that said, you would enter a short right there, and then you would go for that sell. And then there's the full TP. I didn't catch it, so I'm not going to count it, obviously, but we will continue looking for the next trade. Yeah, there's a lot of sells there that or not really a lot, but there was two that were really good that would have been a good profit. However, I just didn't take it because it's too risky. And you guys know how I trade. I'm very conservative. I don't like losing trades. So I'm not going to go for any of these risky trades here. However, you guys are welcome to take them if you like. And that's why it's important that you guys understand the strategies and you guys have the indicators so that you guys can do this on your own. I'm not going to take those risks. I'd rather see Trump allies Steve Bannon surrenders on contempt charges over January 6th Capitol riot probe. Interesting. All right, some breaking news like Trump's previous advisor. And it's crazy that stuff's still going on still today. Anyways, okay, so it's still up 73 points right now, so it's still pretty bullish. It's just gonna be a matter of time. And the thing is, if this turns red right here, that's completely fine. We'll start looking for sells, but currently right now, I'm still looking for it to swing back up. It's probably gonna keep dipping, and then it'll probably just shoot back up eventually. You guys can see my other chart over here that I marked up. It still hasn't moved back up yet. I'm still anticipating to drop a little bit, and it might just swing back up eventually at some point. So anyways, going back over here, what else was I looking at? The 10-minute. Okay, so this is the daily entry here. If you guys want to take it, feel free, but I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time that I consider this a risky trade for the obvious reasons. You're going against fundamentals. So if you guys are taking this trade here, this is the same one that I marked up earlier. This is the daily entry. What I'll do is I'll set up alerts to notify when certain prices are hit. So if you guys are taking this trade, I can give you guys updates. So this is going to be the daily 10-minute 1500. All right, half TP is going to be 750 pips. And I'm not taking this trade, guys. The reason I'm not taking this is because it's going against fundamentals. And you guys, for obvious reasons, you guys know exactly why I wouldn't be taking that trade there. So it's about to hit TP1. If it hits TP1, then my recommendation for you guys is to move your stop loss in profit. So it's getting close to TP1, which is right here for 370 pips. If it hits that, I do recommend move your stop loss in profit using the exit strategy. The next TP for TP2 would be down here for 750 pips. And then lastly, full TP down here would be for the full 1,500 pips. So we'll follow it, but obviously I'm not in the trade, just like I mentioned before, guys. I just find it a little too risky for me to hop into this. If you guys are in it, great. When it hits TP, I'll give you guys an update so that you guys can move your stop loss in profit. Other than that, I think that's it for right now. There's no entry here off the snipe. Off the 3-minute over here, price is coming down. You can see price is actually rejecting off this Asia high and New York high. So price can easily bounce off this right here. And it's another reason why I wouldn't take a trade at this point, because it's just too risky. Yeah, you can see here on the 1-minute, price like literally bounced directly off the Asia high and New York high from last week. So you can see our price bounced right off it, failed to close below it. So at this point, price can either bounce right off it and swing right back up, or it'll break below and just continue dropping. Who knows? But we will be waiting for it, waiting for the confirmation whether it bounces off it or for whether it breaks below it. This might be the bounce that we've been waiting for, right? We've been waiting for something like this to happen where price is going to swing back up. Looks like it's about to right now. Let me go over here and just turn on the sessions indicator. This is cool. All right. Yeah, so as you guys can see right here, price is bouncing off it. Now it's starting to swing back up, right? You guys can see my markup here. It's probably going to come back up to the opening price. So we'll see what happens here, but it did bounce off perfectly. Hey, Katie, morning. Question from Henry. Henry's asking, do you only do high-low on the 1 minute time frame? Yes, that is correct, Henry. I only use it on the 1 minute. That's where the strategy was developed and what it's been tested on. I haven't used it on any other time frames. You guys are free to test it on other time frames, but I personally don't use it on anything other than the 1 minute. And same answer to you too, Jennifer. The time frame for the high-low scalp is used on the 1 minute. So Angie said incoming 3 minute. We'll follow that too. So the 3 minute over here, if we get a buy signal off this, this is going to be a 3 minute buy. I mean, obviously a buy using the strategy here that we're looking at currently, the daily. So let's see what happens here. You can see price is doing exactly what we anticipated, right? This is exactly what we're waiting for. We're waiting for it to dip down and then swing back up. Looking at the fundamentals over here, it's still pretty bullish. Yep, 91 points in the green. So we're just going to wait and see how this pushes through. All right. All right, here we go. See if this 3 minute here closes. So if you guys want to take this here, you need a valid buy signal. If you get a valid buy signal off the 3 minute, you can take it using the daily scalp or the 3 minute daily right here. Same with the 1 minute over here. We're looking for price to break and close past these this high here in order for us to take it. All right, this is perfect. This is exactly what we were waiting for. Swing back up just where we anticipated. I think any trades down here will still be a bit risky. I think when price finally breaks above this opening price, then I think that's when it's going to continue pushing up higher. Because what could happen at this point is we can get a buy signal, price will just come back down. It'll just keep dancing around this area, right? Until it finally makes its way above. So looking at the 3 minute over here, we have this, it's pending. Pending buy signal there. If it closes, then it would be a entry using the 3 minute daily strategy. Just keep in mind that this strategy is still unfinished and in progress. So it's not necessarily an official strategy yet. However, if price closes above these pivots, then it's going to be a pivot scalp strategy. So if we get both of those, say price pushes above here and closes above the pivots, then that's like a 2-for-1, right? Because that's going to be an entry for the pivot scalp and also an entry for the daily 3 minute. So that's going to be a good entry if that ends up closing above the pivots. However, it needs to close above the pivots. So just keep that in mind. In order for us to really pop into that there. Obviously, you can see price establishing high lows here. The buy signal is below here, so this wouldn't be an entry for any of these strategies on the 1 minute. It wasn't a high-low scalp and also wasn't a pivot scalp because it needs to close above these pivots. It looks like the main thing that we're looking for here is the 3 minute. We need this 3 minute candle to close above these pivots. If it does, then it's going to be an entry for us. However, if it doesn't, it's not going to be an entry for us. Unless we have a valid buy signal, then it'll technically be a daily entry for this right here. Other than that, I think that's it for right now. See Gene Vaughn over here locked in some nice profits. See Gene Vaughn locked in a total of 905 for the day. Nice work, Gene Vaughn. Javier over here as well. Yeah, that's funny. Javier just sent me this GIF right here. It's like, why did I buy the low? Why did I sell the high? Other than that, let me follow through over here. The upcoming trade here would be this 3 minute. There's nothing on the 1 minute yet. The main thing here would be this 3 minute. If it closes, but it doesn't look like it's going to close just yet, which is fine. I'd rather give it some time before it actually closes. Let's see how far is it from the. So that's, I mean, it's still kind of close to it. All right, we got 50 seconds left on this candle. Just like I mentioned, guys, we need price to close with the buy signal. It needs to close above the pivots right here in order for it to be an entry using the pivot scalp strategy. If we get a buy signal here and it doesn't close above it, it's still going to be an entry using the daily. However, I'm not sure if I'm going to take that one just yet, because I would for sure want it to give me a better confirmation. Even though my confidence is lined up for a buy, I still think it's a bit of a risky trade to be taking. All right, so see, we got that pending buy signal right there. No entry. All right, so there was no entry off this. Obviously, you guys can see price didn't close above here. Also, price did not give a valid buy signal. In order for us to take a trade, we need a valid buy signal there. That's the first requirement here. Confirm the first valid K2 momentum signal. Nothing there yet. So our waiting continues. We're still going to be waiting for that to happen. Once it does happen, we can take it. But until then, no entry off this 3-minute. Going back to the 10-minute over here, you can see price came back to opening price here for the 10-minute daily. I'm not in the trade. It's not one that I recommended. So if you guys are in it, I mean, good luck to your trade. However, I'm not going to be trading against the fundamentals here. All right, so this high right here is trying to be established. I'm going to give it some time for it to establish there, obviously, but it's going to take some time here. But as you guys can see right here, you guys can see what I drew right here, right? Price came down, tested the Asia high and New York high. You can see the tags right here. Asia high is purple, New York high is green. Price came down, rejected off the Asia high, New York high, and then it bounced all the way back up. So you can see my markup right here played out perfectly. I'll just delete that because you guys already saw that play out. Just want to clean it up a little bit. So this high right here is being established. If it is established as the high, then that's going to be perfect, because once it's established, we can just wait for price to break and close past it. And then when it does, we can take that buy right there. So, yeah, it's just a matter of waiting. At 7 o'clock right now. So nothing exactly available at this moment. It's just a matter of us waiting for an entry to come up here. Looking at the 3-minute, nothing there. Looking at the 10-minute, nothing here as well. And this is normal for Monday, right? We're already anticipating this from market open. I mentioned that Monday is, it's one of the riskiest trades. So Monday and Friday are usually the riskiest days. Monday usually has like the weird movements, and then Friday is just risky because a lot of people are pulling out before market close. Today you can see there's not really much of a direction, right? Going to the clean chart over here, we were anticipating it to swing back up. It hasn't swung back up yet. Now price is kind of just consolidating below here, which is fine. That's normal. But we'll wait and see what happens here. So for the 1 minute right here, this would be a pivot scalp entry, because price here was a valid sell signal close below the pivots, but I'm not going to take the trade. Reason for that is because the fundamentals are currently bullish, and I'm not going to trade against the fundamentals, obviously. Retail sentiment is still short too, 61% short. So I'm definitely not going to be looking for any sells. However, if you took the trade there, you would hit your TP already. So it just depends. If you're trading risky, there was like 3 sell entries that came up here, and you could have taken all 3 of them if you really wanted to. However, I don't take risky trades like that, and I don't like giving out risky trades like that, because if you guys lose the trade, then I'm gonna be the one to blame, right? So that's why I'm more about accuracy, guys. More about taking quality trades versus taking trades that are there, but they're not necessarily quality. They're more on the riskier side because we're trading opposite of the fundamentals. And I just don't like to lose, right? If I lose, it's going to set me back a bit. So, and especially on a Monday, if I ever lose a trade on a Monday or a Sunday, those are like the worst days to lose a trade, because we already know that Monday and Sunday are risky days to trade because the market isn't even fully open on Sunday. And on Monday, market barely opens. So you're going to see a lot of unusual price movement. And if you lose a trade on those days, it could have been easily avoided if you just didn't take a trade, right? Or you just waited for the market to stabilize, which is what we're doing here. We're pretty much just waiting for market to stabilize, confirm its direction, and then we can take trades in that area. But just goes to show here that even though the fundamentals don't line up, if you're applying any of these strategies here for the sells, even though we're not looking for sells, they still would have hit CP. Another reason why I wouldn't want to take a sell here is because it's close to this Asia high and New York high. So what could happen here could be the same thing. Price will come down, test this, then one of two things will happen, just like it did right here, right? Price will either bounce off it, come right back up again, or price will just come back down. This market kind of sucks today. It's just a lot of back and forth, but it's no surprise that the market was going to move like this today. Let's check if there's any other news this week. I don't think there's like a lot of news. So today we have some Aussie news later during the Australian session, some UK news right here. Tomorrow for US, we have core retail sales, import prices, industrial production. So there's a lot of news tomorrow, actually. With all this news tomorrow, it's probably going to cause some volatility in the market, which is good for us. On Wednesday, we have some news as well. Nothing too heavy. We do have some Fed. We have a lot of Fed members speaking on Wednesday, though. So this is going to affect the market. Thursday, we have Fed members speaking on Thursday, too. We have unemployment claims, Philly Fed manufacturing index, and then on Friday, the same thing. So basically, today, there's no news. Market's going to be kind of slow, which you can obviously see right now. Market isn't really moving very much. If you guys measure the range right here for market open, it's only moved about 900 pips, right? That's very slow for US 30 on open, especially on a Monday. So slow day today. Tomorrow there's some news, not very much, but the big news comes on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have the Fed speaking every single day. So you should expect some volatility around those days. Today it's kind of slow, which is normal for a Monday. But you'd probably expect it to be at least 1,000 pip move, right? You'd expect at least a range of 1,000 pips, but measuring this from here, market open until now, the most it's moved was 900 pips. So it's getting close to that point, but it's not necessarily what we were necessarily looking for at this, right now. You can see price just bouncing off the Asia low or Asia high. Same again. So right here, rejection, bounce to the upside. Rejection right here, bounce to the upside. So that was cool right there. Other than that, let's go back to the 1 minute over here. We have a new low that's been established right here. It's being established. We also have another high, or it's pending. Let's see if there's anything else here. Nothing on the 3 minute. Just same situation, double bottom right here off the Asia high and New York high. So price might bounce up or it might come back down, but there isn't really much for us to necessarily follow here. Looking at the snipe strategy, we have a sell signal, so we're only looking for sells at this point. However, there's no sell entries available, right? We need a wick rejection off the pivot in structure, which we do not have right now. So right now at this moment, no entry. Looking over here at the daily entry for the 10 minute, you can see price is just moving alongside opening price. So there really isn't much for us to look at this point. It's just a matter of us waiting. All right. So other than that, guys, there's not much here. If you guys have questions, drop your questions in the chat. I can answer whatever questions you guys have. I'll still be looking for trades, but I'm available to answer questions if you guys do have questions here. Because price is just ranging at this point. I'm still looking for an entry here. What I'm waiting for is for it to break above here, right? Break above here, close. And I'll take that for a high-low scalp. But it's just a matter of me waiting and being patient for me to take that trade there. Rick said a 3 minute buy close in the to the open would be nice. No, I agree, Rick. That's kind of what I'm waiting for too. I'm looking for that there. If we get a buy signal and it closes above here, that'd be great, because then I would expect it to push up pretty heavily. So that would be great. I agree with you 100% for that to close like that. And the reason why I wanted to close above here is just like I mentioned before, you basically get 2 entries off that close. And if that happens, that gives you like way more confidence, right? Because you're like, okay, the dailies, The daily here is a risky strategy because it's not official yet. We're still testing it. However, if we get a pivot scalp entry above that point, then that'd be great because that's basically two strategies into one. And then if you look at the 1 minute, it would probably be an entry off the 1 minute too, because if it does close above here, it would probably close above here off the 1 minute using the high-low scalp. So that's like three strategies in one. I'd probably go full, go full lot on that and wait for it to, push up, which it'll probably happen, but just like we've been watching here, price hasn't really been moving very much. You can see the candle volatility is getting slower and slower as we go. You can see these previous candles right here. This moved about 460 pips. Looking at this most recent candle before the current one, this one only moved about less than 200 pips. And then this next one right here that's currently running, we still have 2 minutes left on it though, has only moved like about 130 pips. So as you can see, volatility is getting very, very slow right now because there just isn't much going on in the market, right? There's no news happening. So there isn't really anything pushing price one direction or the other. Also looking at retail sentiment, it's not very strong. It's only at 61%. And it's not changing, right? Generally, this is changing all throughout the New York session. It's going from like 61, 60 to 62. And it's just bouncing back and forth. As you guys can see, not really many people, there's not very much volatility in the market. It's been at 61 pretty much all morning. Looking over here at the fundamentals, refreshing that right there. It's currently at 78 points. It hasn't really moved too much. Looking over here at the actual index, same thing, right? There's a couple red stocks here, but they're not very strong. Boeing is very strong right now. It's up 7 points. Visa is up 2.9. McDonald's is up 2 points. Home Depot is up 2 points. Amex is up 1 point. Nike's up almost 1 point. Everything else down here for the reds are not even down 1 point, aside from Caterpillar, Microsoft, Salesforce, and United Health, but they're not very strong. Pretty much Boeing can cover all these red stocks here by itself, all on its own. But yeah, I mean, other than that, there's really isn't much for us to look at it here until we have that confirmation. So let's see, there's a high here that was established. 1, 2, 3. I'll put a line there and I'll follow it. Price just can't touch this line. If it touches the line, then it's not going to be a high. However, if price ends up closing, so let's see, the high was established here at 1, 2, 3, 4. If we have another candle that closes after this, and then price ends up pushing above here and closes, then at that point, yes, you can take that for a buy. However, right now, it hasn't been established as the high yet. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else right here. Yeah, nothing off 3 minute. All right. And this is cool. This is fine if price ends up going sideways, because if it does go sideways, the range is going to get tighter and tighter. So I'll just close this here and then see if this range ends up confirming. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. If this candle here closes, this is going to be established as a high, and that's completely fine, because if price ends up closing above here, then we have an entry available for us. 3 minute, nothing there at all. Isn't really doing much. You can see price is kind of just going sideways at this point. Hasn't really done much to push up to the opening price. Okay, so this is going to be key here. I mean, I'm pretty much just waiting for this high to be broken, and then I would be taking that as a buy. But other than that, we're just going to be waiting. So Rick said, on the other hand, if it closes below Asia, wouldn't it go to London open? Possibly, Rick. I mean, there's no guarantee it'll go that far. Let me see how far is London open. Yeah, London open is pretty far off, Rick. It's like, which, I mean, it's possible, but let's see. So if it breaks below here, goes back to London open, that's like a 7 or almost, let's see, it's an 800 pip move. So it's not a lot, but it's a lot compared to, to count this as an entire move for 1 day. So like, let me just measure this from here. This is London open. Market open right here at 630. All right, so that would be about 1,600 pip move, which, I mean, is possible, but when price gets near the like near 8 o'clock, it's probably gonna consolidate a bit. It's probably not gonna push that far down, and then from like 10 to 12, it'll just do its mid-market reversal. So I don't think it would drop that far down. I mean, it's possible, but from my perspective, there's no news today, so there's not much volatility. If there was news happening today, then yeah, very, very likely. But with no news going on today, you can see prices just going sideways. There isn't really much of a direction being pushed around. Something like that could probably happen on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday when the Fed's speaking, because they can say something and then price will just spike one way or the other. But today, not so much. Yeah, and Coach CJ here said if it did go back to London, wouldn't that be a full TP off the 10-minute though? Yeah, it would. But what I'm referring to is that daily can happen in 24 hours, right, CJ? So what we're talking about right here is like if it'll go down to that point within the next hour or so, which is not going to be likely. It can go back to that point by like tomorrow, 24 hours from now. Like say, for example, you're taking this daily. It can probably hit, but it's probably gonna take a while. Like, let's see, if a market opened or the entry happened right here. Like, yeah, maybe in like 20 hours it'll happen, right? Not like in 5 hours. So like in 5 hours, it'll probably push like maybe to TP2 somewhere around there. And then it just might swing back up. And then it'll just come right back down during London, right? Because you guys have seen that before. It's not always a smooth move. What happens sometimes is it'll go down, hit TP2, come right back up, go back to drawdown. And then once it hits like London, it just comes all the way back down. And then it'll probably hit by like tomorrow. So yeah, it's just because volatility is kind of low right now. Yeah, no problem, CJ. It's just, that's why I usually don't like taking this unless like I'm really confident about the move, because the problem with that is if that continues to happen, then the sentiment might change, and then we might be taking it in a different direction. But yeah, price is still pushing right here. Price right here is kind of just going sideways, not really much going on. The 1 minute over here, nothing really going on here either. There's a new low that was established there, but it's pending actually. It's not established. If it closes, then yeah, it'll establish, but hasn't closed yet. Question over here from Jennifer. Jennifer said, hey, sorry, I was multitasking. Did you happen to answer the high-low scalp time? It's the 1 minute, right? That's when you're waiting for waiting to break the last high. That's correct, Jennifer. So yes, for the most part, this strategy is based off the 1 minute. I've only applied it on the 1 minute. I've only tested it on the 1 minute. You're free to test it on the other time frames. The only thing that would change would be confirming the previous swing, because you're not going to use 5 or 4 candles on the higher time frame, since like for example, if you're trading on the 10 minute and you're looking for 5 or 4 candles to pass, that's going to be like an hour. So you might, it's not going to be a scalp at that point. You're going to be using it as more of an intraday trade. So for me personally, I use it off the 1 minute. You can test it on other time frames, but for me, that's the only time frame that I've personally been using it on. This low right here, guys, was invalidated by this following candle. So you can see right here, we had a low that was trying to establish, it was pending, but this following candle here touched it. So with that said, this is no longer the low. It's been invalidated. This one right here is still the running low. Other than that, I mean, there's not really much for me to look at the slow market. Yeah, if you guys have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I can answer them for you. If you guys send me an email, I haven't gone over any of the emails over the weekend, so I have a lot of emails to get through today. So if you guys did email me, don't think that I'm ignoring you. I will be getting to you. It's just going to take some time because I do have a lot. I usually get a lot on the weekend because I get a lot of messages and emails on Friday after the session is closed, and I'm usually not answering them over the weekend. So other than that, Randy said about emails equals slacker. No, exactly. I am slacking 100%. I think it's the weather. Honestly, it's too cold. Well, I mean, it's not too cold. It doesn't get too cold here, but for me, it's cold. And when it gets cold here in California, everyone just gets lazy. Honestly, it seems like it's just a thing for us here. Yeah, Peter said too busy drinking tequila. Exactly right. Talanji said, yeah, definitely a typical Monday. I agree. Rick said, I think KT's a scam. Sean never returned to my faxes. Yeah, Rick, we're still on that. We're still on AOL with the dial-up. It was funny. I was talking to people about that recently, and it's crazy because some people still use AOL, which is insane. I didn't know they're still around, but actually, I think they are, because are they on the Nasdaq? think I've seen them on the NASDAQ at some point. I don't even have them on here. So NASDAQ is actually red now, looking at this here, but everything else is still pretty much green. The Dow is green, S&P is green, NASDAQ's currently red right now. Yeah, I forgot the index for that, but yeah, no, AOL is definitely not part of the NASDAQ anymore, but that would be funny if they were still on here. A lot of stocks. Let's see what's dropping NASDAQ right now. Tesla. So Tesla's down 42 points. Down's a lot of Tesla and CrowdStrike are down. Splunk to bookkeeping. So I'm assuming Tesla's down because obviously Elon is selling off his stock. I'm not following that at all, but I think that's pretty much what I'm assuming. All right, Boeing's still up. The Dow's still pretty bullish. Currently up 70 points right now. Not a lot, but it is up. So this is low. And this right here is a pending high. So if this high over here is established, this is completely fine because you can see that the range is just getting tighter and tighter, right? You can see that the range is starting to squeeze. So, you know, if I took these off right here, you can see that the range here is starting to squeeze, which is completely fine because when it squeezes like that, it's just prepping for a breakout. So this high right here got broken, so it's no longer the high. We'll move it back to where it was originally, which is over here. All right, if price closes above this line right here, then this would be an entry for a buy. However, it's not closed yet. Man, what a bummer. So we were waiting for that to close above it. It didn't close above it, so I'm not taking the trade there. However, that would have been a really nice entry because you can see how price pushed up, but I'm not going to take it. Obviously, it doesn't fit the requirements. Price needs to close above it. So this high has been invalidated. The reason for that is because price touched it before it broke and closed. So no longer the high. This is now the high because it hasn't been broken yet. This right here was touched and it failed to break and close above it. See, this would have been a really good trade if it closed above it, but you know, you got to follow the strategy as it is. Can't deviate from it because even though this would have been a great trade, which obviously you see would have hit full TP already, we can't deviate from the strategy. The strategy here is very specific. I'm not taking any shortcuts. You know, I missed out on the trade. Well, I didn't miss out on it because there was no trade there, but it would have been a good one if it did close above it. Oh, there's actually a 3-minute right here too. So not sure if you guys are in that trade. You know, I do find it a little risky. I'm thinking if maybe I should take it with like maybe a smaller lot size. Let's see. It's a little risky. I'm gonna wait. It'll pull back a little bit. Yeah, so technically, guys, this would be the daily entry off the 3-minute daily. However, it's not one that I would personally take yet because, like I mentioned before, guys, I was waiting for it to close above the pivots, right? I needed that to close above the pivot so that I could line up with this strategy as well. I don't necessarily take the strategy very much. I only take it if it lines up with the pivot scalp. This is something that we're still testing, so it's still work in progress. It's not one that I necessarily take myself yet until we confirm that it actually works really well. Obviously, I feel like there should be another requirement that needs to be set up for this in order for us to take this. But it's something that we're going to figure out over time, right? So I'm not in this trade right here. If you guys want to take it, you know, feel free. I think Rick's in it. I'll put the alerts here to notify when it hits TP and whatnot, but I'm not in the trade, so just keep that in mind. Give me a 500 pip move, and you can see price starting to pull back. It just doesn't line up with my my criteria. So if you guys have been watching this live session from the beginning, I was waiting for it to close above here. I said if it closed above here, then I would take it. If it didn't, then I would just wait for another entry. This right here on the 1-minute. So this high right here has been invalidated by the following candle. You can see that this high here was established, or it was pending this candle right here touched it, so it invalidated it, because you want to confirm that 4 or 5 candles have passed to establish that high. This candle right here touched it, so it's no longer the high. This is still going to be considered the high for me. So what I'm going to be looking for here is I'm looking for price to break and close above here. When it breaks and closes above here, then I'll take that for a buy. And I mean, it's just a matter of waiting. Nice. So Rick got into it. He was in it a quick in and out. So he made some pretty nice. Let's see, a little 135. Yeah. So Rick locked in a small little profit off that, which is great. But yeah, it's kind of risky. You can see prices coming right back down at this point. So we're still waiting for price to come and retest the opening price right here. It hasn't done it. It's just kind of going sideways. It's been ranging this whole time right down here. So as you guys can see, if I delete this stuff, price has literally just been going sideways right here. All right. I'm just going to clean this up so that we can follow it, but we already know that this is the opening price. That's the opening price. Price is just going sideways at this point. 3 minutes still running, I guess. The 1 minute here hasn't really given us anything yet. If this low right here gets established, we'll just move this line up a little higher. But there just isn't anything for us to necessarily take right there. And guys, like, this is all like, the reason we're waiting is because our strategies haven't, provided any entries. I know there's different ways to trade, obviously. There's no right or wrong way to trade. Like, what I do recommend is, find something that works and stick to it. Like, for me, this has been working for us for years, and that's why I continue to use it. Because I know a lot of people still trade like price action, stuff like that. That's fine. If you see a price action move, then great for you. But it doesn't fit our criteria, and that's why we're not taking any trades. So, and that's a problem with a lot of people. Like, a lot of people don't have the patience, and what they do is they try to trade like literally every single strategy out there, and they end up failing at everything, right? What I'd recommend is just find one that you like and just master that. I've mastered this pretty much because I do this every single morning, and that's why I'm so good at applying it. But if you're trying to learn like 10, 20 different strategies, not just K2, but you're trying to learn like all these other strategies, which is good. It's good to have other information and other knowledge with trading. But the thing is, a lot of people get confused and they start mixing stuff up, and then that's how they end up losing trades, because they have like ADD with trading, pretty much. Let's see, anything else here? Let's see if there's anything else here. I don't think there really much is anything else. I'm just waiting for it to close above here. Hasn't done it yet. Let's see. Rick said I made like 20 trades, one loss for 800, and now up 600. Sucks. Yeah. I'm assuming you haven't been going for the full TPs, right, Rick? Because that's probably the case. Like, yeah, no, that makes sense. And it happens, Rick. If you're not comfortable with it, you're making the smart decision of pulling out of the trade. Because the last thing you want to do is hold on to a trade and hold on to it longer than you need to. So no, it's fine that you're doing that. I've done that before. It happens to me every so often. If you don't feel comfortable, it's better just take your profits, move on to the next one, rather than hoping and praying that it works out, right? Because it's not necessarily going to work out every single time. Let me check over here real quick and see the fundamentals. Refreshing this. Still up 97 points, about 100. Not 100, but it is at 97. So what I'm waiting for here is just for it to close above. I'm looking at this candle right here. If it closes, then yes, I'll take a trade. If not, then I'm going to be waiting. All right, we got about 30 seconds left on this candle. I need it to close above this line right here. If it closes above this line, I'll be taking it using the high-low scalp. Also, it'll line up with the pivot scalp as well. So this is pretty much what I'll be looking for and waiting for. It's just a matter of being patient, because I don't want to enter it and then it pulls back. All right, we have about 10 seconds left on this candle right here. Price isn't where it needs to be, which is fine because it can come up on the next candle. It doesn't necessarily need to happen on this candle. It can still happen on the following one after this. All right, so it didn't close above there. So there's Actually, no entry available. Now we just wait for it to possibly come up right here. It's a question from Patrick. Patrick said, Sean, that last buy above the pivot wasn't a qualified move. It was. I don't know if you just joined the room right now, Patrick, but this was a move here for the it was a move for the pivot scalp. I didn't take the trade because we were looking for the high low. So I completely overlooked that. So you're correct. That was a move there, and it was it was a valid entry, and it would have hit full TP. The reason why I didn't take that was because we weren't looking for a pivot scalp. We were looking for the high low. So you're right. I completely missed that. I was looking for this right here for price to break and close past it. However, this candle right here, it didn't close above it, so that's why I didn't take it. But if it did close above it, I would have taken it. So I totally overlooked that it was a pivot scalp strategy, but you're correct. That was a pivot scalp there, and that would have hit TP. So man, that's what kind of it's kind of hard when you're looking for one strategy, not looking at the other one, because you kind of just overlook things like that. But definitely that would have been a full TP off that right there, Patrick. And I'm not going to count it, obviously. I try to be as transparent with you guys as possible. If I'm not taking the trade, I'm not going to count it as a trade in the results. Or if it's not one that we were already anticipating and we were already ready to take it. Pretty much all the trades that we post in the results are trades that we take on the live that I actually take myself. I don't post the trades that I take off session because obviously I'm not trying to inflate anything, guys, right? Like I'm trying to be completely transparent with you guys. Because we just like every time something gets posted, I swear, like we have like someone ready to complain about something. So, I try my best to be 100% transparent with you guys. That's why I trade live with you guys every day. And I don't count any of the trades I take during Asia session because it's not done during the live. The only ones that are counted are the ones taken during the live and that we've actually, marked up for you guys. So other than that, Dan, I just saw your message right now, Rick. You said you jumped in early on that buy. Hopefully you're not too far into drawdown. I'm not sure where you entered, but yeah, it's just that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for it to close above, and that's the reason why right here, right? Because the thing is, if I entered early right here, like I would have been in some drawdown right now. If I entered like right there, the market is just playing games at this moment. It's not going directional. If it was going directional right there, then it'd be perfect because then you can just catch it. But the market is obviously not moving as smooth as we would like it to. Yeah, I know. Rick said I was bored. Yeah, no, it's normal. I mean, I've done that before where I just like last week, right? We were waiting for trades pretty much all session, and then I was bored, so I took an early trade too. Luckily, that trade hit, but yeah, I mean, it sucks when boredom strikes. So this right here is still the high. This right here might be the next high. This is a pending high. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. If it doesn't close, or if it does close below here, then this will be the new high. Actually, we have a new low too. So let me move this up here. As you guys can see, the range is getting tighter and tighter, right? So price is ranging over here pretty heavily, bouncing back and forth. The range from here was like about 600 pips, right? The range here is a lot tighter now. Looking at this range, this is only 300 pips. It's like half the range of where price is moving, not even that long ago, which is fine. Now we're just waiting for it to break and close above it, break and close below it. But it's fine if it stays within this range here. I'm hoping it breaks above, obviously, because I want Rick to make his profit back off that trade, but it's just going to be a matter of time. There he goes. It starts to swing back up. You can see here on the chart, nothing's really happened, right? It's just going sideways. You can see the line that I drew down here. It's been consolidating, ranging. It's still consolidating and ranging as we speak. Other than that, I mean, there's not really much for us to look at here. I mean, there's this 3-minute that's still pending right here, or it's not pending, but it is running. The nothing off the snipe. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Let me see if there's anything else here. Go back to the 1 minute. Yeah, pretty much nothing there. Let's see. So some of you guys here are just listening to my analysis and taking trades off like what I'm discussing here. So great work right here by Albert. He's currently up 1,186 this morning. So nice work from you, Albert, right there. Jason over here locked in a total of, nice, like well over 1,000 right there. Great work, Jason. Brian here as well. Brian said opening micro scalp pips. So he locked in a total of about 1,000 right there. Nice work, Brian. Jason over here again. Jason currently up pretty heavily right there. Nice work, Jason. Off gold. So Jason's trading gold right now, locking about 1,000 off that. Great work, Jason. So this is his off gold. And then again, right here, more profits off gold as well. And then Maddie over here just passes FTMO. Yeah, that was quick, Maddie. Big congrats to Maddie over here. Another person in K2 just passed her FTMO. So great work right there, Maddie. Damn, you haven't. So Maddie passes as MFF last week, and he passes FTMO this week. So great work, Maddie, right there. He's killing it. And then Brian over here again as well. So Brian posted some more profits, locking a total of 1,406. So congrats to everybody here who's locking in profits. You know, just going off my analysis. Even though I'm not taking any trades myself, a lot of you guys here are still trading off my analysis and catching some nice moves here. So great work amongst everyone here. You know, big congrats to Maddie over here passing his FTMO and MFF. So he's getting 2 funded accounts soon, looks like, through both MFF and FTMO. So congrats to everybody here who's killing it with K2 pretty much day in, day out. Other than that, Vincent over here too, locked in a total of 1,754. Nice work, Vincent. Yeah, Maddie over here. His account number 2 on the way, locked in a total of 2,400 off his account today. Great work, Maddie. Giovanni over here currently up 1,314. So as you guys can see, I'm not taking any trades here, but if you guys have the strategies and the indicators, you guys can take trades on your own and you guys can do just as well. Just going off my analysis, identifying what I'm looking at, and still taking trades, but taking them confidently because you guys can understand what I'm discussing here. What's risky, what's not risky, what we should be looking for, what you can be taking, even though I'm not taking it, and executing, right? So big congrats to everybody here in K2 for locking in profit this morning. I'm currently in profit as well. I took one trade last night, nothing crazy. I took one sell scalp here, locked in a total of 660, and then my other account 660 right here. I knew today was going to be kind of risky. That's why I took one trade last night. So, you know, if I took 160 off 2 accounts, I'm currently up 1,320 across both my accounts. That's why I'm not too inclined to take anything too risky right now because I'm in profit. If I take a trade and I lose, I'm going to lose this profit, right? I'm going to go into the negative. So for me right now, it's if I see something good, I'll take it. If I don't see anything that's not that good, I'm not going to force a trade because there's just no need for me to force a trade. I'm already in profit for the day. I'm good for the week so far. It's only Monday. We still have a whole week ahead of us. So other than that, let's see, this range is getting tighter as we speak, which is completely fine. So yeah, you guys can see this range is like super tight now. So this right here is the high, 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 2 candles here to pass. Once they pass, then we can look for a possible buy here. Other than that, 3-minute still running. This one's still running, 10-minute. No entry available there right now. And I want at least one trade. I just want one trade. If I can take one trade here, then that'll be great. And then I can call it a day. But if not, if I don't see anything, then I mean, it's completely fine. Still good for the day. Other than that, if you guys have questions, you know, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we will keep looking for trades here. And I'll try to stay on as long as possible until I can find one trade. But if I don't have anything by 8, then I might just have to call it a day. But it does look like we might be getting a trade here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is still pending. If it closes, then I would need it to close above this line here. Close above it, then we can take that for a buy. However, if it doesn't close above it and this doesn't get established as the high, so price touched it right there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this right here, if it doesn't close above it, then this high right here gets established. But that's fine because we have another high right here, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to draw 2 lines so that I don't have to adjust it like that. All right, so price broke above it. This is no longer going to be the high. What I'm looking for here is for price to break and close past this line here. If price breaks and close past the line, then it's going to be an entry using the high-low scalp plus an entry using the the pivot scalp strategy as well. So right there, man, I hate this. I mean, you guys have been following me for the whole session. You guys can see that the market isn't really moving very smoothly. It's been invalidating highs all throughout the day. Invalidated this high, invalidated this high, invalidated this high. Again, right here, it just invalidated this high. We were literally waiting for it to break and close above it, and it didn't close above it. It touched it and it came right back down. So again, no entry off this point right here. CJ said, I think the market makers might be onto you. You know, maybe they are. I literally feel like the market is playing with this because the market should be moving. It's New York session and it should be moving directly. Like it shouldn't be touching the same exact spot like that, right? It should be at least like breaking past it and then coming back down and establishing another high, or breaking past it and just continue pushing up higher. Literally every time we wait for a trade here, it comes up, touches it, comes back down. It's like playing with us. Man. And the market makers might be catching on to my strategies here, which sucks, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. Thing is, I've been trading for so long, like I'll find inconsistencies in the market, guys. It doesn't matter. The market can do whatever it wants. I know how to like, you know, pretty much structure and engineer my strategies to work no matter what the conditions are. So it doesn't matter. If this continues to happen, then I'm going to make some changes to the strategy here, and then we'll keep pointing. It doesn't really matter to us. And that's what makes, you know, no, I don't want to say I'm a great trader, but that's what makes someone a great trader. Like you're able to fix the puzzle every single day. Like trading is like solving a puzzle every day, right? It gives you an objective here to solve. And every day you're just solving that puzzle. You know, market will change from season to season, but if you have some sort of strategy that works fine and you're able to identify, you know, what the weak points are, like for right now, the weak points are probably going to be these highs because they keep getting touched and dropping from there. Maybe something can be adjusted where we can change the number of candles, or maybe even change to a different time frame to fix that. But and you can see right here, price is now pushing above it. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to chase this move here. I know this is probably going to be an entry using the pivot scalp, but I'm probably not going to chase it because the problem with this is that it's too big of a candle. Not a huge candle, but it's a lot bigger than the previous one. So what might happen is even if it closes here, it's probably gonna have to pull back a little bit before it continues pushing up higher. Yeah, no, definitely, Jennifer. We're gonna win more. Major key. Rick said, conspiracy theorist. Man, Rick, I gotta get my tinfoil hat. Where's my tinfoil hat at? But yeah, I mean, anyways, no entry off this right here, guys. Unfortunately, there was no entry. So this is now going to be the new high. I was really hoping I could take at least one trade before, you know, I wrap up the session myself. You guys here are locking in trades, so you guys are doing great. Me personally, I haven't taken anything myself, so I'm just looking for at least one trade. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, just at least one trade. Here's the 3-minute daily. It's still running right now as we speak. What I would be looking for here is probably, you know, for price to pull back a bit, retrace, and then swing back up. And I'll probably hop into this as well. I just think it's too late for me to hop in right now. I could have hopped in earlier. It's currently in profit about, let's see, about 150 pips right now, which is not bad at all. It's great. If I took that trade there with a, you know, normal standard lot, I've been up 1,500 at this point, but it's okay. Going to be waiting for it, but if it does hit, that's great. If it doesn't, that's okay too, because I'm not in this trade. So going back over here off the 1 minute, let's see, that'd be a pivot scalp entry. Let me refresh this. Currently up 104 points. Looking at the stock index right here, this right here is currently up. Boeing is up 8 points, so it's pushing up pretty nice. Red stocks here aren't very red at all. Walgreens and they changed Walgreens' name over here. Now it's called Walgreens Boots and Alliance Inc. Wonder why they changed their name. Yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Going down here, the only stocks here that are really they're not even that red. They were just red. United Health, Microsoft, and Caterpillar down 3 points. Boeing right here could just outweigh all of them. It's up 8.5 points. Futures data currently up 91 points. Retail sentiment currently up 61% or down 61%. So it hasn't really been pushing. at all. There's not that many traders in the market. It's kind of just, I mean, it's just going like, it's just the same people who've been in the market all morning. The Dow is up 100 points, S&P's up 5 points, Nasdaq's down 21 points, Russell 2K is down 3 points, VIX is currently still up right now as well. Yeah, and that buy signal never even came. Just kind of just bouncing around here. Yeah, so Maddie says slowly going back to test the market open, which is exactly what we anticipate, guys. So remember here, I mentioned that price was going to come back up. It was going to reject off the point, come back up to market open. And then when price reaches this point, it'll either continue pushing up higher, which is what I expect to happen. I think it's going to keep pushing up higher, or it can bounce right back down. Two different ways that can play out here. I personally think it's going to keep pushing up. The reason for that is because it's been bullish pretty much all morning. So with it being bullish, that's pretty much what I'm expecting here. We got a pending 1 minute signal here. Still hasn't closed. Not really much going on here. And the range just continues. Let's see. Patrick said, I like the high-low strategy because it definitely keeps me out of ranging markets. No, definitely, Patrick. And that's why it's one of my favorite strategies. I mean, it's always been one of my favorite strategies. I've been applying this strategy for like years now. It was just, I had to figure out requirements to teach you guys how to do it as well, because this is definitely one of my most profitable strategies. Okay, so this is pending right here for a buy. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, down. So even though this right here does break and close past it, the downside to this right here is the fact that it doesn't establish it as a high, because we need at least 4 candles, right? If you count this candle right here, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4. This would invalidate the high. So this would not be an entry using the high-low scalp. However, it can technically be an entry. Actually, never mind, it wouldn't be because it just broke past it. I was saying for a pivot scalp, but it never closed that with that buy signal there. So this is no longer the high. The high is set back to right here because price never broke this price point. But just like you guys were saying earlier, the market is literally playing back and forth all day. The 3 minutes looking good though. So whoever's in the 3 minute, it's looking good. Like it's going to hit full TP right there. I don't recommend entering to this late if you haven't entered already, you know, for the obvious reasons here. You don't want to get caught in it pulling back. But yeah, I mean, whoever took this here, I think you took it, Rick, right? Or Rick, you pulled out early, unfortunately. I remember you entered and then you pulled out when it came down for a small profit. But if you were holding on to it, it's currently up. It's currently up 250 pips right now. Nice. And Noel's in it. So Noel's doing good. Currently in that buy right there. And this is fine because this works with our confluences, right? Our fundamentals are showing a bullish move. Retail sentiment's short. So the buy there looks perfect. The reason I didn't take it is because it didn't line up with my criteria, right? I was looking for a pivot scalp strategy here, or pivot scalp entry. It wasn't there. There was a daily entry, but not a pivot scalp. So that's why I didn't take it. But if you guys are in this position, what I do recommend is to move your stop loss in profit. Last thing you want to do is be in this trade, be so heavily in profit, and you don't even protect your position. So yeah, no, definitely. Rick said higher time frame, wick rejection knife. So definitely. So let me go over here to the 10 minute. Oh yeah, super rejection off there. And you can see that this might be a snipe entry for a buy as well. So it had a nice rejection off the pivot right there and off the structure. So it's like a double rejection right there off that. If this candle here closes with the buy signal, then it would be a snipe entry, possibly. Because you can see that it's rejecting off the green pivot and rejecting off the structure. So double rejection right there. It's not technically touching the candle body. The blue one's touching the candle body, but not the green one. So if it closes, that would be a snipe entry for another push right there. So some good possibilities here. If this closes like that, then it's going to be an entry for the snipe, and it's also going to be a continued push for the 3 minute. So if this lines up, you'll have the 10 minute lining up with the 3 minute, 3 minute lining up with the 1 minute, and then it's just, you know, it's really nice push to the upside. But currently right now, not really much for us to necessarily look at. This right here would be the new high. So let's draw this right there, and we'll see what happens next. Yeah, Talanji said it's scary. No, I agree. That's why I'm not really getting into any trades right now. I'm waiting for a better confirmation. so that I can catch it. So CT just messaged me, said asset divergence in combination of a bullish move. So let's see it real quick. Nice. Yeah, so CT here is looking for it to swing up as well for a bullish push. So it looks like, and CT is one of the K2 admins here. So like if CT thinks it's gonna be bullish, I also think it's gonna be bullish. It's probably gonna be bullish. So we'll see what happens here. And there he goes. It pushes up higher. Unfortunately, this was an invalid buy signal, so I wouldn't have taken it. Yeah, and there we go, the big push to the upside. So as you guys remember from this morning, right? If you guys remember what I said this morning, what did I say, right? I said price was going to drop, dip, and then it was going to swing back up. And what happened? Exactly what we anticipated. And you can see right here, the same drawing right here that I drew, it's right at that point. Price is now at market open. So as you guys can see, this pattern here plays out. I've been doing this for so long, literally been doing this every single day. I show you guys the same pattern, comes up, comes down, comes back to opening price, and then it'll either break above or it'll come below. So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty solid right here. There you go. As price breaks above it, and it's probably going to keep pushing up higher. 3 minutes looking great. Look at the 3 minute right there. So whoever's in the 3 minute right now, count should be looking real nice. Hopefully you guys move your stop loss and profit like I mentioned, because then if you move your stop loss and profit, you've guaranteed your profits. You're pretty much just waiting for it to hit at that moment. No more stress, no more worrying about it. It pretty much looks pretty solid right there. Going back to the 10 minute right here. So yeah, this would be another snipe, guys. So I don't know whoever's in these positions here, but I'm not, unfortunately, I'm not in any of them. Yeah, no, it looks pretty good for the most part. So we have a snipe here that's available for whoever. Let me just put this up a little bit. For whoever wants to take it, man, I missed it on looks. So many pretty solid moves here, like the this one right here. This one looks pretty good off the 3 minute. I didn't take that, unfortunately. The 1 minute over here. So what I'm looking for here now, guys, is I'm looking for price to break and close past this line right here. If it breaks and close past the line, then something I would take. Other than that, I'm pretty much just waiting. I'm glad everyone here is locking in some pretty massive profits off this 3 minute, and also this 10 minute right here is currently in profit for the snipe. The reason why we have a snipe there is looking at the requirements. You can see we have a wick rejection off the pivot, wick rejection off the structure. I'm not in this position though, so just keep that in mind. I'm not in this position. It's just too big of a move, and it's getting close to this high right here. So I don't like getting close to this point, because when price reaches this point right here, there's always room for a rejection to the downside. So what I do recommend is if you guys do take this trade here for the 10 minute, make sure you move your stop loss and profit when it reaches TP2, like halfway mark, which is right here. When price reaches this point, 250 pips, move your stop loss and profit to protect your position. Because the last thing you want to do is price get up here, and then, worst comes to worst happens, and it just ends up bouncing off that point. So yeah, for here, there's a snipe entry. Reason for that's because first requirement, wick rejection off the pivot right here, this orange pivot, wick rejection off the structure, which is down here. You want to confirm that the pivot isn't touching the candle body. The orange pivot's down here, body's up there, completely perfect. 4, you can confirm the direction of momentum. We have a buy signal right here. And then lastly, you can enter on the open of the following candle, which would be right here. So that's where the entry would be. And then you'd enter for 500 pips. So this is a snipe entry right here. Looks like the TP hit off the 3 minute. My alert didn't go off, but you can see the line right here pointing to that point. So what I'll do is I'll give you guys an update for whoever caught it. I mean, great work to whoever caught that. Put that right there. All right, a little update in the room right here for whoever caught it. I was trying to catch it for like a little push, like just like a little push at the end of it, but I don't know, I just find it kind of risky still. So I'll just give you guys that little update in the group for whoever caught it. Um, oh, that looks solid right there. Other than that, let me go here real quick. So we had this high right here. You can see price didn't close above it, right? Price pushed above it, but it didn't close. So unfortunately, that doesn't count. Pushing up higher right here, price broke and closed past it, so that doesn't count either. And right there as well. So what I'm going to do is I'll put a line right here. I'll turn off this alert because it already hit CP. This would be the next entry if price ends up breaking and closing past this this line right here, obviously. Let's see, Rick said made 1,145. I'm up 1,500 for the day. Might just call it quits. Yeah, no, I mean, that's probably a good decision on your end, Rick, especially if you've reached your goal, right? What I always remind you guys is have a profit goal in mind, right? So that you guys don't get greedy. If your goal is to make 1,000 a day, then when you hit 1,000, just call it a day, come back tomorrow or come back another session. There's no need to take every single trade. So like I always try to emphasize that for everyone here. You don't have to take every single trade. You don't have to trade every single day. If you don't find any good trades, then just hold off and wait. Like for me, I didn't see any good trades today, so I couldn't really take anything. You know, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And like you have to have discipline and control to stay out of the markets when you don't see anything good. Only hop in when you see quality trades, because the thing is, if you're trading because you're bored, like you know how Rick said earlier, that's a really bad formula for blowing your account. You know, because if you don't see anything good, then there's no point in taking a trade. You guys should just wait for market conditions when they're a lot better, or when the market's actually giving you what you're looking for. Right now, the market isn't giving me what I'm looking for. It gets really close to what I'm looking for, and then it just, you know, it just turns opposite on me, which I mean, it's crappy, but it's, you know, I understand how the market moves. So, yeah, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any other questions, you know, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I'll answer any questions right now before I log off. So let me just scroll over here real quick and see what else I'm missing. Question from Maine said that previous high-low valid. There was no previous high-low here. Man, I'm not sure which one are you referring to. There is, so this high right here, there was no entry off that. This one right here, there is no entry off that. This one right here, there's no entry off that. Price touched it. This one right here, there was no entry off that. So I'm not sure which one are you referring to, but I don't see any previous high-low that was valid over here. So I'm not sure which one you're referring to, man. If you can give me like a timestamp, I can look at it, but I don't see any high lows here that were that was valid. So I haven't taken anything. There's nothing down here. Yeah, there hasn't been anything all day today. So trying to figure out which one you're referring to, but I don't see anything over here on my end. 10:41 Eastern. Okay, let's see. So it's 7:41 my time. There's no high low here that was breaking at 10:41 Main. So let's see. You're talking about this right here, 10:41. I'm not sure which one, because if you're talking about this right here, there was no close above this this line here, so there was no high low entry that came up off of that. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're looking at. Man, if you could like point out to me what you're looking, because I don't see any entries here off 10:40. Well, this would be 10:41 your time, it's 7:41 my time. But this right here, this was a high, but it didn't break and close past it, right? You want to confirm the high, that was the high. Confirm price break and close. We didn't get past the second requirement because price never broke and closed past it. So I'll just mark it up at 7:41 right there. So price never broke and closed past it, so I wouldn't, I don't really see anything here that you're seeing, unless you're seeing something different. I mean, I don't see anything myself. So this is the high here, price and break and close past it, so there's no entry off there. But if I might be missing something, I'm not sure if you see something that I don't, but I don't see any high low entry right there, man. So if you see something different, just let me know what you're looking at. But I don't see anything here on my end. So you said the high next to it. You're talking about this one right here, right? This candle right here didn't break and close past it. So if I turn this off right here, just to clear it up for you, the second requirement, confirm price break and close past the previous swing. This is the previous swing. Price never broke and closed past it. Price touched it right here. This would have invalidated it. And this is the higher high that you were talking about at 741. The candle is like way down here. So it didn't close above it. So that wouldn't be an entry. So there'd be no entry off this here. You needed to break and close past it. It broke past it, but it didn't close past it. So that's the second requirement. If you don't pass second requirement, then you don't move on to the next ones. So no entry off of that one right there, man. I'm not sure if you're confused about the strategy, but you needed to break and close past it. Like I'll show you an example of where it breaks and closes past it. Like over here. Let's see if I can find one. There's nothing there. Nothing there. Okay, so here's an example right here. This isn't very custom. Okay, so this one right here. All right, so going to the second requirement right here, main. This is the high right here, right? So this has been invalidated by this one. So this is not considered the high. This was invalidated by this one. This is not considered the high. This one right here was touched right there. That's not considered the high. So this is the most recent high that hasn't been broken, right? So you confirm the previous high, which should be right there. You confirm a price break and close. I think this is the thing that you're confused with. You need price to break and close past it. So this candle right here broke and closed past it, right? It broke past it and it closed. This is where the close was. So right here, since it broke and closed past it, this would be the entry. At that point, you want to confirm that you're trading the direction of momentum. Right here, we have a buy signal, so we're looking for buys, obviously. Confirm price isn't ranging or consolidating. Obviously, it's not ranging or consolidating. It's moving directional to the upside. And you just want to confirm that the price hasn't touched this area previously. So it hasn't touched it any candle before this one. So with that said, you would take this right here. And then there you go. So that's an entry right there. I think you might be confused with the second requirement where price needs to break and close past it. Because at 741, there wasn't anything there. So hopefully that helps you understand a little better. Let's go back over here real quick. And yeah, going back to what we just looked at, that's exactly what happened right over there. There's no entry off 741. All right, so I think that's it for the questions. Unless you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I think that's it for this. Let's go back to here. You can see market isn't really doing much. It's doing the same thing as it was doing earlier. It's kind of just now going back into the range. It's now 8 o'clock, so it's way past my live session time. Price is probably just going to consolidate a bit and then consolidate further from like 9 to 10 before it moves directional, either up or down from 10 to 12. So I'm going to sit out the market. If you guys want to wait for it, or if you guys want to keep trading, what I do recommend is just be a bit careful, because the market isn't moving directional at all. You want to be trading when it's moving directional, like when it's going completely up or going completely down. Right now, the fundamentals are currently bullish. So, I mean, still looking like a buy, but you guys do want to be a little careful, because now that it's 8, price is probably going to go sideways for a bit. From 8 to 9, price consolidates a bit. 9 to 10, price consolidates a bit. And then from 10 to 12, this is where the mid-market reversal happens, right? If you guys remember correctly. So usually this is my time to sit out the market. I usually just chill out from now, and then I'll probably hop in for like one last trade between 10 and 12 for the mid-market reversal. And then pretty much from there, I just sit out until Asia session. So other than that, guys, I think that's it for now. CJ said, can you show the 10-minute again? So here's the 10-minute right here. And this is the one that I wouldn't recommend. Like I haven't taken a snipe entry in a while because of specific reasons why where price just isn't moving that smoothly. That's why I've been trading on the other ones, on the 1 minute and 3 minute, mainly the 1 minute, because I want to get in and out of these trades, pretty quickly. Right here, obviously price came back down and then out bounced right back up. So you're getting a lot of back and forth movement off the 10 minute right here. But for the most part, it's probably gonna range a bit because it's 8 o'clock, like I mentioned before. From like 8 to 9 to 10, it's probably gonna range for a bit, consolidate, bounce back and forth. And then from 10 to 12, that's going to move directional. So price right here off the 10-minute snipe is now moving back to price, opening price, or not opening price, but like entry price. And this price is going to move sideways a bit before it actually starts choosing its direction. So I think that's it. So that's it for the questions here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you guys decide to continue to trade, which I don't recommend you guys do, it's really up to you if you guys want to continue to trade. But I'm pretty disciplined with how I trade, and I know exactly how the market is going to move from like now until 9. It's going to consolidate and range a bit, so I don't want to trade within this area. And then again, from 9 to 10, it's going to do the same thing. So I'll probably be waiting until 10 to make my last moves, and then from there, we'll see. So if you guys do have questions, feel free to reach out through Telegram or email. Just a reminder, I don't check my emails over the weekend or my messages, so I have a lot of emails to get through from now until then. So I'll be going through the emails. If you guys have emailed me, you'll get a response, within the next day or two. If you message me on Telegram, I still have a ton of messages here too, about 7 messages here, and they're really long messages that people have left over the weekend with regard to questions. So if you guys have any questions, reach out, but just, expect to have a 1 to 2 day wait time, because I do have a ton of messages to get through. So other than that, guys, have a great rest of your morning. And if you guys decide to trade, remember to protect your position and to use a smaller lot size if necessary. It's not required, but if you need to, go ahead and use a smaller lot size. Gene Vaughn over here, one last profit for the day, locked in a total of 1,453. Nice work, Gene Vaughn. So other than that, if you guys have profits, send them in. I'll add them to the profit list. And then when the session is over, I will add them to the profit list to be posted at the end of the day. So other than that, guys, have a great rest of your morning, and I'll see you guys here tomorrow for the next live session.